In this lecture, I've been talking about integers in this lecture will continue, and we'll deploy our smart contract, our faucet smart contract. All right, so let's start. The first thing here, I would like to change the name of our faucet contract to differentiate between the contract name and the file name. This will be important later. Actually, you can keep name of your choice, but I would like to differentiate only between the name here and the name here, and you will see when we will be migrating our contract by, I want to differentiate between them. Okay, so let's click here on the contracts folder. Let's rename the faucet for, let's call it faucet contract. Okay, no big deal here. You can call it as you want, of course. I'll be calling it faucet contract.sol, and here is our contract specified. As I was mentioning before, what we need to do, we need to compile it into the bytecode, and this will be handled by Truffle. And it already happened when we deployed our migration smart contract. So my migration smart contract, you can see when we have migrated it, the migration.json file was created, and there somewhere here should be also information about the bytecode. That's a bytecode of our smart contract of migrations. Okay, but not talk about the migration just now. Let's focus here on our faucet. Okay, so I would like to also draw here a couple of things here. Okay, so give me a second. I will go to my drawing board, and I would like to draw here only that we will have our smart contract in JSON format on our website. Okay, so we'll have a normal website on the internet, our normal website, and we will have here JSON file. So this will be .json file that will be providing some meta information about our smart contract, which will be deployed on the blockchain. Okay, so here we'll have our smart contract here also on the blockchain. Faucet, right? Faucet smart contract will be here. In order to communicate with the smart contract, we need this meta information about the smart contract. We need to know on which address the smart contract residing, so 0x23 and so on. It doesn't really matter on which address it's residing, what function it's specifying, what meta informations we can call, and so on and so on. And all this will be specified in this JSON file. This file is also called generally as the ABI file. ABI file, which means ABI means application binary interface. Application binary interface. Okay, so interface. So in which stage of our smart contract we are currently in? We have just created a Solidity file, right? So we have only .sol Solidity file. We have a faucet smart contract. What we want to do here, we would like to compile it, right? So compile it into the bytecode. In the compilation process, we'll actually create this ABI file as well, this ABI. In the context of Truffle, this is also referenced as an artifact file, but okay, let's reference it as an ABI. It will be compiled, and this ABI file will contain also this bytecode, which has to be deployed on the blockchain. So then when we have this ABI, we have a bytecode, then we can migrate, right? So then we can migrate, and this will get into the blockchain on the network, on the Ethereum network, basically, but on our private one, right? Because we are migrating on our private network, so on the blockchain. So first we have a file, compile it in the bytecode, migrate it onto blockchain. So that's the steps we need to do now. All right, so our smart contract is ready. We need to compile it. So let's go to our terminal. Compilation is very simple. Let's open here new tab, and let's simply run here. Let's run here Truffle space and the compile, and that's basically it. When you're running Truffle migrate, it will compile automatically, but I would like to do these steps separately now. So Truffle compile. This will compile our smart contract, and we will inspect it a little bit. Okay, so you can see it has been compiling. Faucet contract.sol has been compiled, so we can now inspect it. You can go here, and in the build folder, you can see here you have a file called faucet.json. So this name, depending on the name of the smart contract you have chosen here. So this faucet here, contract faucet. That's why the faucet.json is created here. The contract name is a faucet, and here you have an ABI specification, as I told you. So application binary interface, which is providing some meta information about the contract. For example, it's providing what type of variables I am keeping in the storage. So here is, for example, counter, the type of this variable. This is just a view. We are not setting it. We can only get the values from it, and so on and so on. I would like to talk about this a little bit later, but you can see here we have a counter, funds, and a test. So we know generally what functions we can call on the smart contract from our website. Also, we have here meta informations about the compiler, which was used, and so on, and also bytecode. So bytecode is a sequence of bytes, all right, that are basically our contract. So this sequence of bytes defining how our application, what is our program. Okay, this is just a high-level programming language. This is a low-level programming instructions in the form of the bytes. Again, I will get into details later. You can see here we have the entire bytecode, and also we have a proportion of the bytecode that has been that will be deployed to blockchain. Deployed bytecode, only this part of the bytecode will be deployed to blockchain. The bytecode, there are some instructions in the bytecode that are not deployed. That these instructions are only run when the contract is being deployed, but they are not necessary to be stored on the blockchain. All right, so only the partial portion of this code is stored on the blockchain. The initialization part of the bytecode is not stored there. Again, as I'm saying, I will get into details later. Just a high overview. So we can verify that the portion of this bytecode is actually this portion of the entire bytecode. So when I will select the entire part here of the 60, 80, and so on, this bytecode here and into the end, and I will search for it, you will see this portion here of the bytecode here, the deployed bytecode is this one here, starting from here. Of the entire bytecode. That's the bytecode we are deploying. Okay, but let's get into this later about the instructions and this stuff. This will be another AI lecture. But what we want to do now is to deploy it, is to migrate this smart contract. So we have an ABI, we have a bytecode which we can migrate. But first we need to specify migration. Migrations are specified like this in a truffle. In a migration file folder, you will create a migration file. So new file. And then prefix is the number of the migration. Okay, so this is the second migration _, and now this is actually your that's optional name. So it's up to you what you will choose here. It should be something descriptive here. So let's say faucet migration. So faucet _migration.js. Okay. Now we need to specify here what we want to deploy here, so which contract. So let's write here const faucet contract, and let's write here artifact. Maybe you are wondering where we have this artifact from. When you are running command truffle compile or truffle migrate, the truffle is injecting some of the values into the context, and one of them is artifact, and thanks to this artifact you can access basically your smart contracts. When you will write a artifact.require and the name of your contract, which we already found out that is a faucet here, the name of the contract is a faucet, we can just simply write here artifact require and a faucet, and this will get you your smart contract. Most important, it will get you bytecode of the smart contract, so you know what you can deploy to the blockchain. Okay, so faucet, and then simply we can write here module.exports. Truffle is expecting that we will export here functions. So write here module.exports and the function, where again this will be injected by Truffle. You will get something called deployer. Deployer is a simply object which will contain a deploy function, and deploy function will migrate your contract to Ganache. Okay, so we'll write here deployer.deploy, and you will provide your contract which you want to deploy, so faucet contract here. And that's basically it, guys. So now we can just run truffle migrate, and this contract should go into the blockchain. So let's save it, guys. Let's go to terminal. And now we can run here truffle migrate, and this should migrate our smart contracts. Okay, everything up to date. This okay, artifact is not defined here in this case. It should be artifacts. My mistake. It should be plural artifacts. Dot require, and now it should be okay. Okay, one more time. I will clear the screen here. So clear and truffle migrate, and everything up to date. That's for a migration contract, because migration contract is already deployed. And here we have a faucet migration.js deploying faucets smart contract. Transaction hash is this one. It was added into block 0 in 0 seconds. Usually it takes longer, but on our private network, of course, we don't need to wait until the block will be mined. So it's instantly done. Our new contact address is this address. And actually it has been mined in the block number 3, my mistake. And timestamp of this block is this time. Account that has been deploying this smart contract is the first account that's here on the Ganache. We already showed it, and the current balance of our account is 99.99, and gas use and so on. About these things we'll be talking later. So now when you will go to Ganache and you will go to your contracts, now you should have here also Faucet smart contract, and a Faucet smart contract should reside on this address. You could also see here. Okay, contract address, this one here. When you will click on this contract, you should have here 3 storage items: funds, counter, test. Funds is this value of a uint, counter is -10, and the test is this value here you can see. Okay, guys, and we have here 0 transactions, and we have here 0 balance because we didn't send any ether to these smart contracts, and the transaction that has created this smart contract is a transaction FCD9. So this is this transaction here that has created this smart contract, deployed this smart contract. Okay. Also, we can inspect the transactions. Again, there will be 2 transactions. One transaction to create smart contract, and the other transaction to call one function in the migration contract. Migration contract is keeping the track of all the migrations. So when the migration is already deployed and you are trying to redeploy any smart contract, it will be not redeployed because migrations are keeping a track of all of the migrated smart contracts. So that's why we have this migration smart contract, and I will get into these details after that. Important here is this transaction which is deploying the smart contract and creating the smart contract here. You can see here some parameters. So sender address, our contract address. Also, we didn't send any ETH there, but we have used some ether as a gas. And also this was mined in the block 3. And here you have this transaction data. When you will copy it, this will be bytecode of your smart contract. So when I will copy this and I will go here and I will go to my JSON file, I will search here. You can see this will be this deployed bytecode that has been deployed on the blockchain basically. That is this bytecode. That's our smart contract code. Because of course, on the internet, on the blockchain, we don't have actual Solidity file. We don't have something like this, but we have this bytecode informations about this our smart contract code. All right, guys. So I think that's a very good start. About smart contracts. Let's continue next lecture. We'll have some additional information lecture. I will be explaining these parameters here, what you can see, and after that we'll be also interacting with our smart contract. Don't worry, it's everything one step by step. So guys, see you. Cheers.